Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at today's commencement exercises for the North Brookfield Junior Senior Class of 2019. Would you please rise and join me in welcoming the graduates?
Standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing as our senior band members, Jacob Tebow, Jonah Clark, Luke Jolin, Logan Lalonde, Alexis Bodley, Miranda Labonte, and Corbin Stafford join the band for the playing of our national anthem. Class members may now be seated.
Good afternoon. My name is Nick Leroux, and as president of the class of 2020, I would like to welcome you to the commencement exercises for the North Brookfield High School class of 2019. Gabby Kenoyer, the junior class vice president, and I will serve as your host for today's exercises. During today's ceremony, we will hear from some honored guests as well as from several graduates. Our first speaker is the president of the class of 2019, Miss Ariana Stiles.
This happens all the time. This is my fault. I was supposed to print it out for her and I didn't. But we're looking it up.
Is there a way to just look at it normal?
How's that?
It's okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, parents, family, friends, teachers, and fellow graduates. Thank you all for being here. Class of 2019, as we embark on our new journey, let us fondly remember our good times and memories here at North Brookfield High School while taking our next steps into this great big world. Whether you're planning to attend college are going into the military, or going straight into the workforce, do so with an open mind. Have fortitude, be bold and courageous, and be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Some would think a small town would not have prepared us for a larger scope of possibilities, but they would be wrong. Class of 2019, our possibilities are endless. The only limit is you. You determine your present, you determine your future. Be involved, take risks, and make the changes you want to see in the world. Jada DeWalt, author of Chasing Desdemona, once said, "Don't let others box you into their idea of what they think you should be. A confined identity is a miserable way to exist. Be you and live free. Trust that in living true to yourself, you will attract people that support and love you just as you are." I know that throughout our lives, we are going to be faced with many challenges, and the best advice that I can give to you to get through the ups and downs of life is to just stay true to yourself. Be authentic and genuine. Have hopes, have dreams, envision succeeding, but also don't be afraid to make mistakes. We are going to make mistakes. That is inevitable. The best thing we can do is to always make our own decisions. Don't let what others around you are doing influence you in your choices. This is your life and you are in control. Remember when you get stressed to appreciate the little things, whether it be a cup of coffee, a walk, getting together with friends or family, or whatever may bring you joy or peace. These small things are more valuable than you can imagine. As each of us step away into our different directions, we may lose some friendships, we may lose ties and connections with each other. This will be hard as we essentially grew up together, but we will be afforded the opportunity to make new friends and new connections. We must take advantage of these opportunities. Our networks will grow. Our connections to the outside world will become stronger. The doors will open. We just need to step through and say yes. So class of 2019, I leave you with these final thoughts. Be bold, be courageous, be you. Take risks, succeed, make mistakes. Make new friends, seize the opportunities. Say yes more than you say no, and embrace the changes that we are about to experience. Congratulations, and I wish all of you the best of luck in your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariana. Our next speaker will be the fourth-ranked student in the class of 2019, Nathan Gershman.
I've got mine right here. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming out here on our graduation day. I'd like to thank our parents and teachers who have helped prepare us for this exciting moment in our lives. These past few days, I've been looking back upon my time here, trying to figure out what to talk about, searching for the right messages to include, what emotions to feel, what memories we all have shared. The one thing that kept popping in my head was my doubts on coming into North Brookfield. As many of you know, I school choice from East Brookfield and North Brookfield. I spent my first 8 years of school in Spencer East Brookfield School District, where I made many close friends and made my home. During my 7th grade year, my parents have talked about moving my sisters and myself out of district and into North Brookfield. What many of you don't know is that I never really wanted to come here. I never wanted to leave my hometown, my friends and teachers. I hated the very thought of itself coming to North Brookfield. I had no choice if I was going back to Knox Trail. I spent most of the summer and beginning of the 8th grade miserable and feeling alone and saddened. I was in a brand new place where I knew almost no one, but soon enough I had made new friendships, started feeling more comfortable with myself and how others saw me. Over the next few years, instead of being the outsider, I became a part of the school, a part of the town. I had met some of the most amazing people here, some great friends, a great girl, and a great job. North Brookfield had given me more than I could ask for. This place has become my new home. In a few short months, our summer break will come to an end, and we will all be parting from each other and going on our own path, a choice that we ourselves have made. We recently had to choose what the next steps in our lives will be, choices between trade schools, colleges, military, jobs, or taking time to yourself. You might find out later down the road that your decision you made back in 2019 might not be the best for you, or that you regret it completely. Unfortunately, we cannot travel back in time and change our decisions. We have to live with them, but we are all young. We all have a long future ahead of us to gather ourselves and get back on track. I want you all to know that changes are not very easy. You'll have to come to terms with your decisions and face the challenges that may come your way. To get past change requires a bit of time to get a feeling of your surroundings and a new feeling of yourself. With change, you have to keep moving forward with time. There is always the option of giving into the sadness by letting it consume you with grief and pain, or you can keep moving on in the future. The past is set in stone, but our future will forever be fluid. I was able to play soccer, make friends, and find a job that has influenced what I want to do with my life. You're able to influence your future by moving on. Don't let the past define you. You never know what life has in store. Choices we will have to make will not always be easy, but oftentimes we'll have to choose between two difficult decisions. At times like these, you must stay true to yourself, not giving into the pressure which you are in, but making these decisions on what is truly best for you. This journey, unique to every single one of us, gathered in this room, but at the same in that we all face change time and time again. But no matter what, always strive to be the best version of yourselves. Good luck to all of you in the long journey ahead of you.
Thank you, Nate. Our next speaker is the third-ranked student from the graduating class of 2019. Please welcome to the podium, Emily Gianfrido.
There is always a curious tie at some point between the fall and the creation. Taking this ghastly risk is the condition of there being life. You see, for all life is an act of faith, an act of gamble. The moment you take a step, you do so on an act of faith, because you don't really know that the floor is not going to give under your feet. That was a quote from Alan Watts in regards to love, about how people don't rise into love, they fall, thus indicating that there is a risk involved. How we as people give ourselves up to love entirely, but that is not what today is about. Today is about risks. The people up here on stage, along with myself, are about to start a journey we know little to nothing about. Some of us are enrolling in classes in the fall in various locations. Others are going straight into the workforce. Some are not doing either of those two things. A special select few are enlisting to serve our country. All of us are taking this next step on an act of faith, an act of gamble. We do not know if the floor is going to give under our feet. We can only take measures slowly, stack the odds in our favor, but nothing is certain. There will be times where the risk is too grand and we end up falling straight onto our butts like a young kid in a bounce house. But like that child, we will get up and try to bounce with the big kids again. We will learn to take a better approach. All right, imagine this. You're in third grade. You didn't study for a spelling test. You really want to do well on it. You know for a fact that your friend next to you studied. You can take the risk and cheat, or you can just accept that you're going to fail. You weigh out the risk and act. I can't speak for what you would do, since I am not you. But what I can say is that you assessed a situation, debated on risk, and acted upon whatever you chose. As we have gotten older, these spelling test dilemmas have just grown in importance and have heavier risks. We have either tried to make the right decision or took the solution that will only benefit ourselves. There are other risks every day we take without even knowing the risks, such as going into Taco Bell. Even coming here today for some of you was a risk. You left a new puppy at home who might be chewing on the couch. You might have driven 4 hours just to realize, in a graduation speech, that you left your hair straightener on. I'm sorry. Me wearing heels today was a risk. No matter what magnitude the risk is, life is made up of them. There are stories floating around of successful people who have taken risks in the past and they have paid off. Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard and created Microsoft. He didn't drop out because he wasn't doing well or because he hated being there. He simply saw an opportunity and acted upon it. He now has a net worth of $99.9 billion. I'm not telling you to drop out of school and do the same as he did. He even advises people not to. At a commencement ceremony, he said, "I'm a bad influence. That's why I was invited to speak at your graduation. If I had spoken at your orientation, fewer of you might be here today." He is part of a rare few who took an insanely huge risk and it succeeds. Some people aren't as lucky. Class of 2019, embrace the risk. We do not know what lies ahead of us for the next 5, 10, 15, 45 years. No one can know for certain. Over the next few months, we will divide and conquer. Conquer what exactly? God only knows. But I know that whatever it is you set out to conquer, you will succeed in the most extraordinary way. If you are to take anything from this, please know that risks are what make up life. Some will pay off and some will not. Stay level-headed and assess every situation that comes your way with the brains I know you all have. Please remember, we control the narrative.
Thank you, Emily. Our next student speaker is the North Brookfield High School Class of 2019 Salutatorian. Please join me in welcoming the second-ranked student, Miss Jessie Heavey.
I'd like to start off by welcoming family, friends, teachers, and fellow students. Thank you for joining us on this special day and for supporting us through this entire journey. As Andy Bernard from The Office once said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." I found that this has rung true, especially as this era of our lives comes to an end. Many people have said to me that high school will be the best years of my life. I disagreed with this statement for a long time. However, in the past few months, I've come to have a newfound appreciation for the meaning of it. High school is the place where we learn who we are as people. We learn our place in the world and what we stand for and what we don't. We learn the types of people we ourselves want to be. And we learn what we don't want to be. We make friends, some that we will keep for many years, and others that we may move on from but will never forget. We often fought amongst ourselves, but these fights have helped us to grow. Now, don't get me wrong, high school really sucks, but most of the grievances that irritated us then, we laugh at now. High school has turned us into the people we are today. For the senior superlatives this year, I got voted most changed since middle school. And I know that I would not have become the person that I am today if I had gone to a different school, or if I had a different group of people to grow up with. So as each of us moves on with our lives, as we begin a whole new journey, remember our high school, not as the place we desperately wanted to leave, but as the place that shaped us into the people that I'm glad to have known.
Thank you, Jesse. Our final speaker is the valedictorian of the North Brookfield Junior Senior High School Class of 2019. Please welcome the number 1 ranked student, Miss London Scannell.
Hello, everyone. Presumably, all of us are ecstatic that high school is finally over. We have waited 13 years for this moment, and we finally did it. We have watched all of the high school movies, and we're now the ones on the stage. For all of us, it wasn't easy. At least, I hope it wasn't easy, because if it was, it wouldn't have been worth it. So when we all head out into our individual journeys tomorrow, I want you to remember that you've reached such a big milestone and that you can accomplish a great achievement again. As cheesy as this sounds, the difficult goals are usually the only ones worth having. We are all going to be afraid at some point of doing the wrong thing, of making the wrong choice, of going down the wrong path. We all will. We all will make bad choices. We all will make mistakes, and we all will fail. It's an unavoidable part of our lives, because if we don't make the wrong choices, we can't ever make the great ones, the life-changing ones. Some of the greatest inventors made their discoveries by accident. Percy Spencer was trying to make a radar, discovered microwaves. Play-Doh was originally a wallpaper cleaner, and now over 3 billion units of Play-Doh has been sold as a children's toy. Velcro was discovered because some guy took his dog on a walk in the forest. Percy Spencer didn't worry that what he found wasn't the goal of his original project. The inventor of Play-Doh didn't worry that his dough behaved incorrectly. And the inventor of Velcro didn't worry that he took his dog to walk in the wrong forest. The greatest inventors take risks and adapt to their situations, and they don't worry that they made the wrong choice before making it. Or maybe they did, because they all failed. Percy Spencer didn't make his radar, Play-Doh is a really bad wallpaper cleaner, and the Velcro guy got his dog hurt. Yet they were all able to turn their failures into successes. Maybe our risks didn't work out 100% of the time, but we couldn't take them if we had worried ourselves into taking the safe route. If I had worried about applying to the colleges I didn't think I would be able to get into, I wouldn't be going to Vassar in the fall. I'll contest, you can worry if you refuse to allow your worrying to stop yourself from taking risks. For every failed opportunity, there is an amazing opportunity in the making. Your first book will be bad, your first invention won't work, your first college paper isn't going to get a good grade, and your first real job is not going to be fun. You have to make mistakes so you can learn from them and create best-selling books, amazing papers, successful inventions, and great careers. If we look at our failures as steps to success, then we can never be failures. The only way you will fail is if you stop making mistakes, because mistakes looked at with the right eye are just great inventions. Wherever life takes all of us, I hope we all remember what I've said today. I hope to hear about all of your successes and failures at our reunion. I hope your failures are great. Before I go, I want to thank everyone here for helping me through my mistakes and helping me to get to my successes. Congratulations, everyone. You are and will be great.
To offer congratulatory remarks to the class of 2019, please welcome our next speaker, the principal of North Brookfield Junior Senior High School, Mr. William Evans.
Thank you, Gabby. I wasn't nervous, but then my mom showed up, and that always makes me nervous. Hi, Mom. Good afternoon. I would like to begin with a series of acknowledgments. So to begin, I would ask that anyone who has served, is currently serving, or intends to serve in our nation's armed forces to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service to our country. If it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a small city to get them to graduate. And I would like to acknowledge some of the people in our city that made that happen. So, first, past and present school committee members, Maria Tucker, Megan Cloutier, Kristen DePass, Ruth Hontham, Elizabeth Mabel, and Debbie Maggio, thank you for your unwavering support of our schools. Please keep fighting the good fight. Yes. To our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Richard Lind, whom you will hear from later, thank you for your unwavering support. To the district administrative team, Interim Director of Student Services, Monique Dubuque, Financial Manager, Sheila LeBlanc, Curriculum Coordinator, Jean Powers, and Tech Coordinator, Sydney O'Hara. Thank you, guys. And to Marty Shaw and the entire custodial crew for preparing this space and the grounds and for keeping them maintained all year round. The place looks great. Thank you, guys. To Jake Anderson and Corey McIntosh and their crew in the back for running the sound, video, and lights today and throughout all of our end-of-year events. And as per our deal, Jake, Nate, and Justin are not graduating, just so you know. To our guidance counselor, Megan Sears, who will join us later to help distribute the diplomas. Ms. Sears did a great job of assisting our graduates in meeting all of the deadlines necessary to get to today. Great job with that. Thank you, Meg. On Friday, before the Class Day ceremony, we paraded the graduates through the elementary school. It was really wonderful to see all of the kids and teachers out in the hall saluting the graduates. It always reminds me of just how many people have had a hand in their journey. So if you are employed in any capacity by the North Brookfield School District, I would ask that you please stand and be recognized. I'd also like to thank Nancy DiPilato and Damian Surrett, the co-advisors of the class of 2019. What starts out as helping with some fundraisers in the early years gets pretty involved by senior year, and Nancy and Damian have done a phenomenal job in ushering this class to this point. So if you could both stand and be recognized. And finally, because I know she loves this, I would like to thank the school secretary, Allison Bulger. In addition to running the front desk of the school every day, which is a multitasker's dream and everybody else's nightmare, Allison is responsible for just about everything associated with today's ceremony. From the programs in your hands, the tickets, the awards and scholarships, the diplomas. If it's in print, she made it. And it's always a tremendous amount of work, and she's always done it with amazing customary grace and poise. So Allison, if you could please stand and be recognized. All right, next we do have some unfinished business to attend to. As many of you might know, we have a sort of tradition at the school by which each senior gets their day. It's kind of silly. They get to sign and wear this crown that Allison makes. Carry this scepter, which I think Melody made from a yardstick and some ribbon. They get one privilege and a walkout song. We work hard to make sure everyone gets their day, but with kids joining mid-year or going out on internships or exercising their senior privilege to come in late if they have a study hall, we don't always get everyone. So we have, I believe, 3 students who did not get their day this year. So I'm going to pass around the crown and the scepter so they can sign the crown. And their privilege is they get to have graduation day be their day. So, or co-day. So as principal of North Brookfield High School, it is my honor to declare today to be Alexis Bodley, Rachel Prunier, and James Rodney Day. I would get yelled at if we didn't do that. In preparation for today's address, I looked back over the advice I gave to the previous 6 graduating classes, and at the risk of sounding like I'm recycling old material, I'd like to give an abbreviated version of those speeches, really abbreviated. And it comes in the form of a top 10 list. So number 10 was try not to be too quick to judge others. Number 9, be humble about your limitations. Recognize there is always way more that you don't know than you do know. Number 8, surround yourself with healthy people. Number 7, embrace all of life, the great joys, the great sorrows, and all the mundane stuff in between, which there is a ton of. Number 6, get out of your own echo chamber and listen to people you think you might disagree with. Number 5, demonstrate gratitude. Number 4, use your face to communicate as often as you can. Number 3, engage with the world and participate in our democracy. Number 2, learn from failure. Do not rationalize your mistakes as someone else's fault. Embrace them as opportunities to grow and learn. And number 1, use your superpowers of kindness, love, and compassion to make the world a better place. I was struck as I was listening to the speeches that came before mine of how many of those same lessons were just spoken of. So thank you guys. So those are the lessons I have tried to impart to others, but learning is a two-way street. And you, your predecessors, and the rest of the North Brookfield community have been generous teachers for me. So I'd like to also share the top 10 list of things I have learned from all of you over the last 7 years. Number 10, I'm not as smart as I think I am. Number 9, I always make better decisions when I listen to others. Number 8, I never really know what other people are going through. Number 7 is this. I learned this from the kids, the heart symbol. There's a bunch of other like hand signals like this one and stuff, but we don't need to get into all that. Number 6, don't mess with the mama bears. Number 5 is kind of related to number 6, which is admit when I'm wrong. Especially to the mama bears. Number 4, it's more important to listen to people than to try to fix their problems for them. Number 3, breathe. Always remember to breathe. Number 2, the most important person to come into my office is the next one. And number 1 circles back to number 10, I've still got a lot to learn. So if you were paying attention, you may have noticed a lot of crossover between the first top 10 list and the second. And as I said, learning is a two-way street. As I have learned, so have I tried to share what I have learned. And that really is one of the great joys in life, the sharing. So share your talents, share your skills, share your knowledge with others, and be open to what others are sharing with you. It really is a great joy. So as I wrap up my teaching and learning, I got this. And the joy I've had it's really only 3 more lines. I can get through it. Here in North Brookfield, I get to take all of that with me into the next chapter of my life. So I leave everybody just laugh or something. Thank you. All right, that's good. Thank you. I leave much richer than I came, and I'm going to follow my own vice, number 5, and express my gratitude to all of you for allowing me to learn and grow, and for sharing. You're amazing children with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. At this time, please join me in welcoming our next speaker, the chairman of the North Brookfield School Committee, Mrs. Maria Tucker.
Hello. So I'm really lucky. I get to follow Mr. Evans' very nice speech there. So good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege today to congratulate our 2019 graduates on behalf of the North Brookfield School Committee. Congratulations to all your family and friends who have supported you along the way, and special thanks to all the staff and administrators that joined you on your journey through the North Brookfield Public Schools. So I am a big believer in the 3 R's, the reduce, the reuse, recycle, like Mr. Evans. So I thought about reusing my speech from last year. It's very intimidating to come up here to write something and share my thoughts with you all. But I have a niece who is the same age as you, and she graduated on May 22nd from Parkview High School in Lilburn, Georgia. She is my oldest niece. I have 5, only nieces, no nephews. And I remember her, like your family remembers you, as this little baby that I was babysitting who freaked me out because she hiccuped. I remember her as a 2-year-old who loved buses. She got super excited whenever she saw one. And I remember her as a kindergartner heading off to school on one of those buses in her favorite hippie skirt that I bought for her. So I decided that I would say to you what I would like to say to her, because I didn't have a chance to go to Georgia to see her graduate. I watched it live stream, and she was about this big. So like all the speakers, I love quotes. There are so many people who have already written exactly what I want to say. So my niece is a huge Harry Potter fan, and I still love her, even though she's a Slytherin. So at first I looked for some great inspirational quotes from Harry Potter, but none of them summed up exactly what I wanted to say. I did find her a really great set of framed prints of Dumbledore quotes for her dorm, though. I thought about sharing a song that I love that has lyrics that really inspire me, that might inspire her as well, but our tastes are very, very different, which is to say she is hip and I am not. So finally, about a week or so ago, I came across a quote from a British author whose books I have never read. His name is Matt Haig. So his best-known book is a memoir of his years of depression called Reasons to Stay Alive. But the quote I found actually comes from his Twitter account, and it sums up in so many ways what I want to say to my niece and what I'd like to say to you too. So the quote is, never be cool. Never try and be cool. Never worry about what the cool people think. Head for the warm people. Life is warmth. You'll be cool when you're dead. So it sounds easy, but it's one of the hardest things in the world to be open to other people, to show your warmth and passion, to show that you care, to be true to who you really are. I hope as you head out onto this next big phase of your life that you remember the times that warmth and caring from this community helped to make you who you are, and to remember that some of the best things in life come out of sharing your warmth with others. So congratulations to you all. Have fun, be safe, and best of luck to all of you in the future.
We will now be presenting graduation awards and scholarships. For the presentation of the awards and scholarships, please welcome Mr. Evans and the co-advisors for the class of 2019, Ms. Nancy DiPilato and Mr. Damian Surratt.
Don't worry, I got it together now. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to commence with the awards by publicly citing and presenting medallions to our top 4 academically ranked scholars. Our top four scholars have achieved academic distinction over the past 4 years. In order of rank, they are number 4, Nathan Gershman. The number 3 ranked scholar is Emily Gianfrido. Very well done, Nancy. The salutatorian is Jesse Heavey. And the class valedictorian is London Scannell. Our first award is the American Legion Auxiliary Unit Number 41 Citizenship Award. This award goes to the girl from the graduating class who best illustrates such outstanding qualities as courage, citizenship, companionship, character, service, and scholarship. The award consists of a check for $300. The selection is made by the faculty and their choice